All right, good morning. Here we are on day 5 of our 7-day daily workout, doing it twice a day, doing 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes a little bit more. Testing out, so as we're working on a thoracic outlet type syndrome, non-diagnosed on Dawn on the right side. Anyways, we're going to start with a bit of warm-up. We have a beautiful sunny day. We're allowing all this beautiful sun to come in and warm us up. Don has mentioned that he is feeling quite a bit better today, a little bit more mobility. Would you say about how much better?
Well, 15-20% anyway.
15 to 20% better, so that's an improvement over from yesterday, and we've had improvements as we continue to move along. So we still have today and 2 more days of this work before we switch gears to trying something else. And we're going to see what kind of gains we have by the time we're done with it. Morning of day 8, we will post a little bit of that. We'll do a video on it. Alright, let's just get in there. We're getting all the muscles warmed up and ready. You let me know if you're too cold. Okay, I know there's a little bit of a chill, but it should be warming up from my hands working on you.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, even the traps don't feel awful. They're a little tight up inside of there before it ties into the deltoids. I got to go into town yesterday and clear a bunch of stuff out of my car that I had in there for the shop, and while I was in there I got showered up and shaved and everything. So a little less fuzzy.
Sounds worthwhile.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. More people are wearing their masks in town. I was encouraged to see that.
Yeah, well, our trip to Coos Bay seemed to show that
Less there.
people were just out and about.
Yeah, it seemed. Yeah, and you're fine. You can leave your leg. I was just leaning against it. It seemed to me when we went to Coos Bay that, for the most part, you wouldn't have known anything was really going on. You would have thought that it was a random flu season for the amount of people that were wearing masks.
Yeah, plenty of shops open, plenty of cars in parking lots.
Exactly. The spread and the rate of the transmission is going to be the same at that level. Let's just say, it is what it is. We're not going to worry about that because we don't get stressed. Stress is not what we work towards, it's what we work away from. Getting in there at the top of the traps, just kind of leaning back on him a little bit. Leaning back a little bit. There you go. Just doing some soft fingers in there, soft fingers. Feeling around, seeing what needs to be manipulated. Everything should be relaxed, really. I mean, that's what it comes down to. Yes, we have our postural muscles, but you can tell if they're relaxed feeling or really tense feeling. And beginning probably day 8, we're going to look at starting to add running into our routine. Get a little bit of that going in there. We're going to do more calisthenic exercises on top of our yoga. I've already added some. I believe Don's added some calisthenic stuff as well. For me, it's push-ups, sit-ups, reverse crunches, side crunches. I'm going to add some pull-ups in there. And let's see, what else? Do some flutter kicks.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. It'll be piece by piece because you don't want to throw it all in there at once. It's been a little while since I've done some of those heavier exercises. I do want to do them all. I like doing wide, close, and regular pull-ups plus reverse pull-ups. I did a lot of rock climbing for a number of years. I'd like to get back into some bouldering. That'd be fun. Go do that, which really comes down to a lot of finger grip strength and getting alignment of your legs, because it's 70% legs when you're rock climbing, and I don't know, bouldering it might not be. I think I still got a crash pad so we can go play and have fun. This bouldering doesn't require anything more than chalk, shoes, and a crash pad at the most.
What's a crash pad?
Kind of like any other, like a small wrestling mat that you can haul with you, so in case you fall off, you can land on it. usually about 4 inches thick or so, and it's got a pretty good amount of density to the foam so that if you hit it, you don't get hurt too badly or at all, and it also doesn't let you slam into the ground.
What's that going on?
Right there? Which part? The inside or the outside one? So outside out here we have the rhomboids that are they're actually loosening up quite a bit. I know there's a little bit of tension in there, but the gluing that we usually run into, yeah, we're still dealing with the teres minor issue and a little bit of that. I believe it's a posterior deltoid thing, but I'm still working out which one, because the reason why I'm having a hard time is these layers in here are really glued up together. And so we're just we're bringing circulation there so that we can get this to clean itself out and reduce its inflammation inside of there. One of the things that's really going to help is when we start adding more of the calisthenic exercises. It's going to really get the body moving in that side of things, because we do a lot of yoga. Yoga deals with working on those slow twitch fibers, or fast twitch fibers, where we're doing long holdings and stuff like that. We are going to be working towards the slow twitch ones, where we can, boom, we can get going. We can have an explosive attack. And that's where push-ups, sit-ups done properly, cross your heart style, right? Don't reef on your neck. Keep your back flat. Don't rock when you do it. And other such exercises are going to help increase those. And running is going to help increase our flexibility, give our bodies reasons to clean out faster. We've been doing a lot of really strong parasympathetic work recently, and now it's time to do a little bit of the old hard training on top of it. Yeah, there we go. Well, crunchy right there at that levator scapula. It's kind of interesting. It's a border junction where everything kind of just caught itself up. Feels like the super is just caught up with that levator scapula a little bit.
Yeah, that's so true.
And it just needs to what we're doing is it's that corner. It's just like a little corner. And right on that corner, we're opening that space right there. We're releasing that tension of the periosteum from the endosteum, from the bone to the real tough connective tissue. We want circulation in there. And we want that to open so that it can release the tendons that's connecting to the levator scapula. I know I'm down a little farther. And the tendon that's connected to the supraspinatus, as well as the infraspinatus too. And it's wrapping around. Grab from the subscaps. You got your rhomboids coming this way. And then because those are have been all inflamed, they're kind of glued to the bottom of the trap.
And that's someone from the old injury many years ago.
Exactly. A lot of it
into
is.
my neck.
Exactly. That old injury is what's coming out. We're working our way through it.
That's why it's very stubborn. It's so damn old.
Yes.
It would be impossible for most people to think that they could ever get that open again.
Certainly. And as we've talked in our podcast, a big part of that is now recognition. You're talking about it. You're giving it light so that you can heal it. You've put light on the subject, and now we can heal it. That's a lot of psychology that works inside of this game. We have to deal with. We get to deal with the psychology of what these damages have held inside themselves.
Yeah, well, it's really interesting that there's still life ability in those areas that once they're activated like you're doing, that they can start to drain or open up or flow or whatever the right term might be.
Yeah, a lot of circulation is the biggest piece, and once that circulation gets in there, the healing capacity is there. Sometimes the body needs to choke off a certain area and get rid of it, but if it doesn't have circulation in that area to rebuild it completely, it can't. And eventually it could cause either osteoporosis, which is degeneration of the bone in that space, along with the constant myelitis, which is muscle irritations and irritations with the arthritic joints in there as well. We're not specifically doing comfort care. That's what a lot of massage therapists do. A lot of comfort care, a little bit of help, especially in these type of long-term chronic injuries. we're working with rebuilding. My goal is working within maximum human capacity at all times. Yes, I'm still trying to attain or working towards attaining those capacities too, but I'm also teaching others to attain their maximum human capacity. The maximum capacity this body is capable of, and once that's in proper homeostasis, then we can deal with the self maximum capacity upon this earth and what you're able to do.
Yeah, not comfort care, healing care.
Exactly. And once we get ourselves to a certain stage, we'll do more comfort care stuff. But that's different. That works. Let that shoulder fall. There we go. That works a little bit more in with the psychology of stuff too. We do some comfort care, we'll pull out some oils and we'll have some fun. But if your body's not in homeostasis, it makes it very difficult to, especially with that. I'm go ahead and just keep relaxing in there. Keep relaxing. Really happy. I mean, before, what was it? Shoot, it wasn't even a couple days ago. Yeah, look at this. He's bringing it up himself. I couldn't even barely get it behind him without him screaming. Go ahead and just relax, and I'm going to bring it in to its proper position. Now, while it's here, and this happens with any of us that are trying to get into this position, is you have to let the traps release. Our teacher Vimla, our yoga teacher, talks about this all the time, releasing the traps. You got to let triceps, out. Then you got to let the biceps come the other direction, so you flatten against the bone, All the muscles get out of the way and the bones go to the bones. Because eventually this one is going to be all the way up this way. We're only going to go as far as you're comfortable with right now. Let that shoulder come down. There we go. It took you a second, didn't it? Okay, so in here is where we're dealing with part of our issues, right? Right up here in the pec minor as soon as I get there. And it's that irritation of, okay, I've been worked, but I know what I'm supposed to do. And I don't have to get in there and be as rough either because of that. There you go. Why does it have to be worked over and over again? And it's because it's memory. We're practicing giving it new memory, weighing new experiences in a positive light. First experience is rough and hard, so it wants to go back to its original setting. Second and third experiences slowly give it that, okay, wait, but there is opening even though it was rough and it hurt. Now we're at the stage where it's like, okay, I can kind of ease into that. I can be prepared for what's going to happen. So we're probably weighing on a 50-50 side right now, a little more. And it's tough because, like I've explained to Don, it feels like inside the joint there may be a small labral tear, undiagnosed of course, which is not inconsistent with this type of an injury. So multiple things all at one time. And once we get most of this stuff worked out, I don't know if you can see well enough on the camera, we're going to work with this triggered middle finger, which has been that way for an extremely long time from this injury, is what we're theorizing. So
yeah, I think there's some possibilities that could open that up.
Yeah, first we have to give light back to this area here, the main area that controls it and where the main injury was done. And when that light comes back in there, we can start bringing the light down. Hippy-dippy sounding, but it's the truth. We need to bring circulation and healing here. Circulation and healing comes down here. We start the circulation and healing in the hand without having a place for it to come from, then it's not going to be happening. Even the subscaps feel a lot better. Really. I mean, I'm just kind of diving in. I can actually feel the inside border of that scapula for once on the subside. That's much nicer. a little picky. Just a little picky.
Yeah, in that area, not exactly right there, but where you just were.
Yeah.
There's a depth that seems to be pretty painful if you were to get too far in there.
Yeah, well, it's quite a way. So we're trying to get right underneath that deltoid as well as underneath the lat. Pretty tricky spot to sneak in. A lot of little stuff in there. There's a teres minor. Yeah. We're just going to press on the teres minor for a little bit and see if we can get it to relax. It's important to know your muscles. I know the names as I was taught them in school, and I know the Latin names based on that. I'm learning them again. Sometimes I forget a few of them here and there, or I get them mixed up by name just because they sound similar, but I know where they're at. But it's very important to know your muscles and where they're supposed to be. And the reasoning is you can put a face and a name to it. You can put a place where something is rather than doohickey and thingamabob. You have a consistent same. And you can get it in your mind, and you can build that network of understanding of being able to see the overlay of how everything actually works. Learning the muscles, because it's all Latin, learning the bones and all that stuff is learning a new language. It's quite literally learning a new language. Cool thing is they base most of their words are based upon origins, origins and insertions, so, or what it's close to or how it's placed in the body. And as you understand those placements and those names, it starts making more sense. That's going a lot better. Even the trap kind of eased off a little bit. Yeah, normally, man, I'd hit you right here in that cortical process and you'd be jumping off of here. That's a huge improvement. Huge improvement. It's a beautiful day out.
It may seem obvious, but it seems to me that a practitioner who is really going to be capable of healing in this deep healing old injury manner that we're working on would have to be very passionate and healing, passionate about actually helping to give true healing care and not just perform the motions.
Yeah.
It sounds simplistic, but what I mean is the practitioner really has to have a lot of built-in compassion and care that another person might feel good from their hard and intelligent manipulations and rubbings and
well, your care has to be in a different fashion. My care is in your health, your welfare, but at the same time it's also tied to a certain degree to yours. So if you're not willing to do your part, then I'm not willing to put my efforts in, because it costs me a lot of energy to do what I'm doing. I expend an extreme amount of energy, both physical exertion as well as my energetic work that I'm doing inside to do the work. And if a person's not willing to work on it themselves, that negative energy that's within their body is going to get translated to a certain degree on yourself. You have to learn to let that off, but it's not easy. And if they're not doing their part,
no, it's not easy. The patient client has to not balk, even little balkings. They have to open up and relax and accept the therapy. The therapy sometimes can be a bit tender.
Yes, absolutely.
And, you've got to be willing to go a ways with that.
Yeah. And a lot of people, they don't want to do that. They're like, I've already been in enough pain. And it's like, well, you believe you are, because that pain has drawn you deeper and deeper in. We're going to spread that back out and get that circulation going, and it'll reduce the pain. But a lot of that is a mental override issue more than a physical item. And if you're not willing to get to that point, then you're not ready. It's no big deal. No big deal.
No, but I think a lot of people are not ready. They don't want to go through the pain, and they don't want to go through the what it takes to accept some tough therapy.
No, very much so.
They'd rather live with their misery.
No. That is true. That is extremely true.
And they also don't have the overall holistic idea to participate in their self-care and their overall health. They want to continue to have bad habits and sitting on the couch and being inactive, or not a very good diet, or
Yep.
just
Well, you get into your body, you get literally into your body in that sense, where you're more interested in those items than you are in taking care of the aspect that you're running around in. Hey, I was there at one time, man. I overate. I did all those crazy things. Some part of me, I think, did some version of care because I kept the body enough together so that I didn't end up with organ issues like a lot of people that got that heavy, and I was able to repair everything else. I'm still dealing with the physical aspect stuff. Let that go. But not the organ issues like most people did. And when a person's ready for this level of healing, then they're ready for it. If they're not ready for it, you're not ready for it. There's no two ways around it. This isn't just, I cannot override your lack of willingness to fix your body.
they have to be
Or will I
interested
try?
in their own optimum health,
Correct.
the best that they can get.
Correct.
No excuses for not becoming active and not becoming passionate in self-care all the way around holistically.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. This is not BOGO stuff. This is not just relaxing stuff. This is taking you to the next level of evolution within this body and within yourself too.
Yeah, I think it has to do with opening to the light of the universe, opening to the best energy of the universe by your own being upbeat, being happy, being positive in a genuine way.
Well said, Don. Well said. Well, I'm coming to the end of this one for a little bit, so how are you feeling?
Good.
Good. All right, go ahead and come on up. Wow. Well, we did make a change to the seat height. We brought it up a bit so that I was pushing him in a little bit different position, but I think everything's working out really good. I like what I'm feeling inside of there. There's a lot more opening. We still have a few things that we're dealing with, obviously. We expect that.
Oh, this is
level
a
of
very
injury.
deep, long-term, tough wound and a second injury that is almost impossible to think that I could heal from. But I am continuing to feel healing effects moving forward. I'm very positive and continue to be grateful. Thank you, Tio.
You're welcome. Namaste. All right, keep with us. We have a few more videos. We got 2 more days and plus the afternoon one. We'll see you later. Have a fantastic day.